Welcome to episode 30 of the Soulful Menopause podcast. Now, do you hate having to be patient? Do you really dislike that word, patience? And is it really irritating when people ask you to be patient? And are you frustrated with being in limbo land, not quite here or there, and not knowing when things are going to shift for you? Well, today's episode is all about how to make peace with patience. Find out why this is such a valuable time and how it relates to your menopausal journey. Welcome to the Soulful Menopause podcast. Discover how to transform the chaos of menopause into vibrant health and a soulful life you'll love. I'm Sally Love, natural nutritionist and soul wisdom coach. I want you to experience a soulful menopause that'll guide you into the best years of your life. Hey, how are you doing today? Okay, I have found a beautiful, poignant, short little poem here that I want to share with you about menopause. And I found it on the internet. It's by a woman called Barbara Younger. And it's called Just Over Yonder. Joy stands for just over yonder. Sometimes you have to wait for the yonder just a bit longer as green shoots sprout into fields of joy. Oh, I love that poem. That's so sweet, isn't it? So short but sweet and says so much. I love the ending of that, as green shoots sprout into fields of joy. It's just like knowing that just like it is waiting from winter to spring when we start seeing those little green shoots coming up, knowing that at some point in the future, when we get to the late spring and the summer, we're going to have fields of joy, fields of flowers and bounty. But that line, sometimes you have to wait. Oh yes, I have never, ever been a fan of waiting. I can tell you that for sure. I've never liked the word patience. I used to call it the P word because I couldn't even say the word patience. I hated it so much. I hated the idea of having to be patient. I found it so frustrating. In the past, when I've made my mind up to do something, when I've made my mind up to change my life in some way, I've always just jumped straight in, head first. Okay, let's get going with this right away. I'm just going to throw myself full throttle into this and make this happen and move on. So really, being in limbo is not a familiar place for me. It's a very uncomfortable place for me to be, and it certainly may well be for you too. I'm sure quite a lot of us don't like being in that limbo stage. To make matters worse for me, my family's motto is get on with it. So I have that deeply ingrained into my subconscious, that motto, get on with it. So deeply ingrained into my subconscious that whenever I make a decision in my life, I immediately move on and change things and okay, next chapter of my life, here we go. However, I'm in a time in my life right now when I've really been forced to be in a limbo stage. Even though I have made a major life-changing decision, I'm still unable to move forward just yet. And I am actually going to share with you what my life-changing decision is at another time, when the time is right. But for now, what I want to do is keep the focus on the times when we have to wait, the times when we have to be in a limbo stage, whether we like it or not. So I've had to Well, let's say I've had the opportunity of reframing this, of looking at it differently. I've had the opportunity to make peace with patience. So what I had to do first of all was to actually reframe the way I look at this word, patience, and what patience means, and just let go of the load that I've been holding around patience, the frustration around it, all of that heavy energy around it, because of course what you resist persists. So this is time for me to look at patience. And so what I did was I changed the word and the whole idea of patience into a living image that really works for me. And I love this image. This image is of me standing over a bubbling cauldron, gently tending to it. And what I'm doing is I'm letting the bubbling contents of that cauldron work their magic. I've had the time where I've put in all of the ingredients and all of that's done. And now I just need to stand over this cauldron and let it work its own magic. I'm watching it, I'm occasionally stirring it, and I'm just watching as the steam rises into the air. And this is very symbolic of letting things go that are no longer serving me. Just letting them dissipate and dissolve, just watching them, being the observer and just watching this vapor rise from the cauldron and just dissipate into the air. Gone. The cauldron, the contents of the cauldron are basically just boiling down into a magical elixir. And time is needed for the ingredients to blend together and to react with one another so that they can transform into something else. This whole elixir is just becoming more and more potent over time. So I realized that this process definitely can't be rushed. Otherwise, the ingredients wouldn't have time to mature and develop and work their magic. There needs to be that time to let some of the ingredients evaporate after they've done their work, after they've served their purpose. If I rushed this phase, I wouldn't receive the potent elixir at the end of it. My elixir would still have things in it that wouldn't be of benefit to me because I wouldn't have given them the time to evaporate. I wouldn't have given the ingredients enough time to blend into one another and transform. So if I rushed this phase, I'd just be left with a watery soup instead of a potent elixir. So I actually know now that this time of being in limbo is actually a really precious and very, very important stage. It's a time where I need to just stand over my cauldron and gently tend to it. And I know that when my magical elixir is ready, there'll be no doubt at all, because there'll be a new stage in my life just presenting itself to me. Things will start opening up, things will automatically be changing in my life, and I'll start moving down a new pathway. Now, it's recently occurred to me that this is a stage of our menopausal journey. And I've decided to call it tending your cauldron. And this stage comes after perimenopause and immediately after the stage when we know that we've reached menopause, the time when you know that you've had 12 months without a period. And so this stage of tending your cauldron is a holding time. It's a time of rest, of gentle reflection as you're staring into your cauldron. And it's a time when you're being prepared to enter a new chapter of your life. And it's a time when you're still probably got quite a lot of the chaos of the perimenopause stage that you went through. That chaos is still probably with you. You certainly may well be experiencing symptoms of menopause still. You may still be having your hot flushes and some other physical, emotional, mental and spiritual things that are still shifting for you. But you gradually start to see them dissipate, so the cauldron suddenly boils up and you see a whole load of steam dissipate, and suddenly you realize, oh, I haven't had a hot flush for quite a while, and oh, I'm feeling less anxious than I was before. And these are all the things that have evaporated out of your cauldron. And so you're gradually in that tending your cauldron phase, that limbo phase where you're gradually moving out of the perimenopause phase and this chaos, and you're preparing to enter this new next stage of your life. And I'm really excited about this because I've also been shown what the following stage is about as well. Now, I'm going to share all of this with you in much more detail very soon. But for now, this stage of tending your cauldron, patience, waiting, being in this time of limbo, of rest and of gentle reflection is so very, very important. And I think, speaking for myself, as well as possibly for you, we get these times where, okay, I've done that, I just want to move on. And we find it very uncomfortable to be in that limbo state. So if you're really frustrated because you're in this limbo stage right now, you're neither here, you're neither there, you've still got some symptoms of menopause going on, but they seem to be dwindling, but you don't know what to do next. And you're like, well, I can't do anything just yet about this, even though I know I want to change my job, for example, even though stuff's happening in my relationship that I'm not sure what's happening here. And it's a time where you just can't force things. You just have to sit and be with it. And so know that when the time is right, a door will open to another realm for you to step into. And it's going to be such a beautiful realm as long as you've allowed yourself to tend your cauldron. You're letting your cauldron bubble down to make this beautiful elixir so you can take that with you, this potent magical blend with you, so that you can then move into a life that you really want for yourself. This is certainly the time to do it. So I just say, if you're struggling with menopause in any way, then please do get in touch with me. I'm here to guide you through this, to support you through this. I really want you to experience a soulful menopause. I want you to know that this doesn't have to be a negative, downward spiral for the rest of your life. This is in fact quite the reverse. This is an amazing time for you. And I really want you to experience vibrant health. I really want you to experience the soulful life you'll love. So if you'd like to get in touch and have a chat, just find out more maybe, please do visit my website, soulfulmenopause.com. To find out more about how you can live a soulful menopause, please visit soulfulmenopause.com. I'm really looking forward to being with you again soon. Bye for now.